continue on this journey. I am love. We continue reading and mastering this teaching by starting in chapter 1, in the beginning, God. I want to continuously bless our Black history, acknowledging it, being in a grateful attitude for the service and the works and sacrifice of all of those that we stand with, our foremothers and forefathers that opened the way, that gave. So we want to honor them. And then I want to honor the presence of love for this brother Simmons, who was sentenced to 100 years. He served 44 years in prison for a crime that he held true he did not commit. And he was just released a couple of days ago. So we just bless that brother and we honor love in that. I want to also honor our Black sister, Sister Jackson, who won a gold medal in the Olympics for the first time in history in speed skating. So we just honor that. And what we can look at in that is to never give up, never give in to the lie, to the mirage. All things are absolutely possible with our God. And so I want us to stay there, that all things are possible. Never deviate from that truth, just knowing that wherever we are and whatever we may be going through, that something infinite is unfolding if we just keep our mind stayed on thee. I remember when I was a youngster over at 48th and Main in our church, and I remember this song that we used to sing and the words of it. It says, "My eyes are open, now I see fullness of truth thou hast for me. My hands now hold that wonderful key that opens the door and sets me free. Joyously now I work with thee, ready, my God, thy will to see. My eyes are open, now I see. Spirit divine." So it's saying to us to open our eyes. It teaches us of this teaching of Jesus, that master teacher. We find his teaching direct, simple, and understandable. He said, "I am come that they may have life and that they might have it more abundantly." He was always talking about the more abundant life, the greater happiness, the deeper peace. He told us that we can rest secure in the love of God, that the power of God is always at our command. He said that God is love, God is truth, God is life, God is power, not some life, not some love, not some truth, not some power, but all life, all truth, all love. Jesus never claimed to be different from other people. He said, "What I am, you are also. What I do, you can do. Where I am going, you may go." Did he not tell us that the kingdom of heaven is at hand? He told us that the only thing that obscured our vision and feeling of this heavenly state of being is our lack of faith. We do not know just how Jesus acquired his wonderful faith, but he must have had moments of doubts and misgivings just as we all do. He must have experienced uncertainty just as you and I do. But unlike most of us, he triumphs. He walked over the waters of doubt, the waves of confusion, and the tempests of unbelief. Jesus was a happy and radiant soul. He was triumphant. He said, I have come that you may have joy. I have come that you might have peace. I have come that you may have life. Blessed are they who do hunger and thirst after truth, for they shall find it. Reverend Paul said, seek, ask, knock on the door of understanding. What is truth? He answered, I am the way, the truth, and the life. What I am, you may become. And that's what this teaching is all about, is to recognize and realize that we are love. We came from love, created out of love. And if we could just only walk in that truth, think in that truth, act in that truth, be in that truth. Jesus said, if you wish to do what I am doing, follow the few simple truths I have given you. I have told you that the kingdom of God is at hand. You do not see it because we're filled with fear. Our eyes are so filled with tears that we cannot see. Our ears are so dulled with confusion that we cannot hear. Our minds are so weighed down with doubt that we cannot understand. What was his remedy for all of this? Is to open our spiritual eyes, listen with the inner ear, open our minds. What is it that we are to open our eyes, our ears, and our minds to? What is it that we must see, hear, and understand? It is something that the master teacher learned through silent communion with life. The inward ear, the inward eye looked upon the spiritual universe. His human consciousness was transmuted into divine understanding as he sought for and found his union with life and with love. It is not true that we seek wholeness in externals. We should like to influence people and make friends, but we are to find that inner communion with inner life, and then everything else falls right into place. So as we continue on this journey of I am love, this source, our source, Spirit, God, only promotes, suggests, beckons, urges goodness, kindness, patience, respect, joy, wholeness, peace, greatness, most of all, love. What appears to break our hearts, interferes with the body, changes our lives by the ascension of a loved one, the change of a job or a service. It does not have to destroy our lives. That gold medalist, Sister Jackson, said, it's never too late to experience the seemingly impossible. We are braver than we think. We are stronger than we seem. And we are loved more than we know. We are because of love, the love that God has for each of us. Let us, each of us, magnify that love. In Deuteronomy 6:5, it says, you shall love the Lord your God with all of your heart, with your soul, and with all of your might. Yes, that takes strength and courage, but that's part of our powers. We've been given all of these powers of God to utilize them to have a greater experience of life. Our chapter 1 is reiterating, there is one power, one presence, one love, God, creator, father, supplier, healer, restorer, transformer, renewer, builder, mover, counselor. I could take up this whole Sunday in speaking what God is. I ask you to say once again, I am love. And I ask you to feel what that means. Because once you really awaken to the fact that you are love, that one with God, cells begin to rejuvenate, muscles and organs begin to transform and heal, position themselves in that wholeness and that perfection that we were created out of. Love builds, moves, inspires, restores. So once we awaken to the fact that we are love and begin to think in love, begin to speak out of love, and begin to act in love, order, divine right action takes over our lives. For anything we think about, feel about, be about, even if it's in love or out of love, it will show up. We are thinking beings. So be the change you wish to see. Happiness is when what we think and what we say and do are in harmony with love and with universal truth. Gandhi says, I offer you peace. I offer you love. I offer you friendship. I see your beauty. I hear your need. I feel your feelings. My wisdom flows from the highest source. I salute that source in you. Let us work together for the unity of love, not see people's character and how they act, but to see the Spirit of God within them. That takes a deep understanding of truth, because so often we react to people's behavior instead of responding to the truth that we say we know. When we are in despair or pain or a challenge, remember that through history, through her story, love has always won and always will. This teaching is about moving from self to the divine. And the divine offers, just as a buffet, whatever you need, whatever you want. We get to choose. So choose today whom you will serve. I am love is being the presence of God in the presence, no matter what. That's what this thing called life is all about. And when those challenges present themselves, it is the grandest opportunity to prove to self just how powerful, just how magnetic we are. We are and can be the magnet for all good. And even through our challenges, a testimony awaits our recognition. We are created out of this stuff of goodness, of loving kindness. Whatever the question, love is the answer. No judgments, no criticism. Love, true love, is letting go and moving on. Why? Because love holds nothing against anything Love is the essence of peace, of joy, of wonder, of splendor. For if I do nothing else, let me hold on to love. If I don't, I'm being held hostage to the stuff that happened. I can't change it. Whatever has happened up until this moment cannot be changed. The best thing we can do is learn from it and grow from it. Family, how are we going to move forward? We are chapter 1, in the beginning, God. We are Genesis. We are Revelation. Through the Bible, we go from the beginning, and then that whole book teaches us how to live, how to move, what to do, what not to do. And then at the end, Revelation, what have we proven in our lives? Learning every lesson on Sunday, every prayer and visioning on Wednesday, and all during the week, all the good inspirational teachings that we hear. What are we learning from it and through it? See, to be spiritual, which is what we are, is to create. Our word is the power of spirit declaring itself into form. Name it and claim it. When we speak it, it is done. That's love. Spirit knows itself. So may we get in alignment and know ourselves. Chapter 1 says, God did make, God does make, and God is making. So what do you need? What do you desire? God continues to make from eternity to eternity. Forms. So our thinking molds what we're bringing into our experience. God is love. We live in a universe of infinite substance, liquid possibilities. That needs to take place needs your instruction, needs your direction. Affirm, I am love. So I am, we are digging through the mud of yesterday and yesteryear, and we are standing in the presence of our now. God, that higher calling, is our salvation from dis-ease, discord, pain, loss, the thinking of not enough. The reason we go to church is because we know something. We're learning something, growing through something, standing, being anchored in that infinite possibility. Now it's time for us to execute this teaching, our learning. Don't just talk about it, be about it. Reverend Paul said last week, if we are just hearers of the word only and not doers, what good is it to hear it? How often do we take the time to center ourselves, to be still and know the wisdom of God, the beauty of God, the supply of God, the peace of God, the joy of God, the grace of God, the love of God? God should be pictured, felt, and sensed as a wise father, a loving, tender parent, a protective principle, a mighty intelligence, a storehouse of all rich supply. In God can be found all that our hearts desire. Our mental and physical health demands a newer and truer concept of God. God is making, God will continue to make. What are you putting in the universal soil of all that there is? We live in a universe of infinite substance, numberless forms, wherein nothing is moved unless intelligence move it. There is one mind, but we can use it different ways. I will say that we are to use it for our greater good. Everything that spirit thinks must take form. So our health is dependent upon us thinking wholeness. Our supply, however great you can think, takes form through our conscious belief that I can have as much as I can believe. Our relationships, the peace and respect in them requires our thinking to be in unity with love. We are thinking beings, always co-creating. For we are always thinking, we can't help it. Even as I speak right now, we are thinking thoughts. You're either hearing what I'm saying and allowing it to be activated and to marinate with you, or you're thinking about something else. We have to be mindful and gatekeepers about our thinking. People and things will come and go, but creation goes on forever. God will forever be there, will forever be some kind of demonstration, manifestation of ideas. The invisible will always be made visible through consciousness. Think it and believe it. Have faith in it, and you can achieve it. So if I'm thinking and affirming that God is intelligence, I can believe that this infinite intelligence guides me, counsels me, protects me. This wisdom from above is now reflected in my thoughts, my habits, and my activities. If I am thinking and affirming God is health and wholeness, I can believe infinite healing energy is, not will, not thinking in the future, but claiming it now. It is mingling with every fiber of my being, restoring my body to perfect, radiant health. When I'm thinking of God as my peace, I can say the infinite peace of God is mine now in this moment, easing my nerves, relaxing my body, and sowing seeds of joy in my soul. When I'm affirming God is security, I am knowing infinite power surrounds me, infinite power protects me. I am walking in the radiant light of goodness. When I'm thinking of God as life, in mind, I rise above dis-ease, the threat of death, and claim my birthright, knowing life everlasting is mine now. When I'm thinking of God as supply, I can turn over all of my needs to infinite mind, tune in and connect with the universal storehouse of abundance. When I'm thinking of God as love, I breathe the spirit of goodwill on all humanity. I claim and declare that I am love. We are here to live life, to live it successfully, in joy, in peace, and in love. But to do that, we must clothe our thoughts and activities in a constant state of forgiveness, not holding nothing against no one or the past, but a constant state of forgiveness. And that's affirming that I am loved. Understanding that I am love. And when we do that, we then evolve into the higher realm of consciousness. And there we are always recognizing the presence of God. And in that state of consciousness, we then realize that all things are possible with God. And in that, we're evolving, we're growing, we're understanding, we are aware. Nothing or nobody can hurt us without our permission. Our future, that means the next moment from now, depends on what we are thinking in our now. Our son sent this the other day, and I thought it was grand. It says, hate has 4 letters, but so does love. Enemies have 7 letters, but so does friends. Lying has 5 letters, but so does truth. Negative has 7 letters, but so does positive. Under has 5 letters, but so does above. Cry has 3 letters, but so does joy. Anger has 5 letters, but so does happy. Wrong has 5 letters, but so does right. Hurt has 4 letters, but so does heal. This saying is life is like a double-edged sword. So let us transform every negative side into an aura of positivity. Let us choose and live in the greater side of life. My eyes are open. Now I see fullness of truth thou hast for me. My hands now hold that wonderful key that opens the door and sets me free. So joyously now I work with thee, ready, my God, thy will to see. My eyes are open. Now I see spirit divine. So we hold the key to our joy. We hold the key to the universal purse of unlimited supply. We hold the key for unity, friendship, and love. We hold the key for wholeness, perfection in our minds, our bodies, our soul, our life. We are able now to sow more seeds of goodness and accept the universal soil will bring to us a harvest of goodness. All that you seek is seeking you, and is seeking you from the inside. Be still and know. Be expectant and grow. Meditate, affirm, declare, and speak your word of goodness. Everything that we talk about and believe about, we are throwing it out into the universal soil, and it will bring back to us. So don't use your spiritual coin of thinking lightly. Use it knowing that there's a power and a law that will bring it right back to you. Life mirrors what we think, what we believe, what we speak, what we trust, and what we have faith in. Affirm over and over and over until you absolutely believe it, that I am love. And when you believe that, your life demonstrates to you that you are love. Peace and abundant blessings to all of you. I love you and thank you for listening.